The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
First down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 30. And the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Running right through it. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Brady. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On 4th down, Ryan Succop now for the Buccaneer field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Throwing is Stafford. field. Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy Bunting. It's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes, but those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You're going over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
For the Lions.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for three, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get three, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
First and 10, and they've got three tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now Leonard Fournette. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Fournette. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, here's Agnew. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Lions will take over.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. A gain of 3, second down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Once again, it's Swift. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. Maybe out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. He's got the first down and more inside the 30. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. At the 23-yard line.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That is caught at the 7. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. One more time with Swift. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They will run it with Swift here. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Looked like they felt like there was just way too much traffic, so instead of trying to run through the pile on 3rd and goal, they tried to take it outside. But how about that pursuit by the defense? Way too much for them, and they held him up short of the line of scrimmage and the goal line.
Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal. They'll try it now with Swift, going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And the Bucs defense, they'll celebrate the goal line stand. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bucs, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Lions, well, this loss means they'll have one more shot to avoid the dreaded 0-16. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.